Yo, what's happening, guys? It's your boy Uncle P with another episode of Uncle P's podcast. Yo, it looks like that gym post is hurting a lot of people. Guys, let's get back to normal programming. I think the Nigerians are getting more attention that they need. We've got a country to fix, and there's a lot happening in South Africa, and I want to get back to speaking on what is happening in our country. But I had to laugh at this. So, this guy came and commented, Japa has been added to English dictionary. Ha ha ha, you think Nigerians are in your level. They focus on putting Africa in the map, which your country words or slang has been added to the dictionaries till the world ends. So this guy is bragging about a word. I want to actually check what the definition they've put it is, because I know the definition. I think we all know the definition of Japa, but let's see what they are proud of. In Yoruba, Japa loosely translates to run away or escape. So this guy is proud of the fact that a word that is used towards what they do, which is run away and escape their country, has been added to the dictionary to facilitate the whole world to know when they're saying Nigeria and Japa, this is what they mean. He's proud of that. So they're even proud of insults now. You see, when your country lacks achievements, you become proud of almost anything. And this is what's happening to Nigerians. You know, it looks like because they are lacking so much achievement in that country, they have to literally be proud of anything. But I wanted to discuss this conversation here because I don't think people realize this whole Japa thing, how serious it is. And the funny thing is, since the word is added in the dictionary, we can use it for everyone now. So let's watch this video quickly. So if you could hear the language being spoken, those are obviously Zimbabweans who are chaparing to South Africa. Since the word is in the dictionary, let's use it. They are jabbering into South Africa. And people are being proud of doing this to South Africa while at the same time insulting South Africa. I saw this boy's video again. He did a live stream where he's still not remorseful. People are even bragging that now Zimbabweans are following him to show that they don't need the support of South Africa while he's living in South Africa. For how long does South Africa have to take this insult? And I don't think it's for long, because right now South Africa is standing their ground. Even politicians are beginning to stand their ground. I'll give you guys an example.
Microwave wants to be. Go drink. Go TV.
Residents of Tshwane, today we are continuing with our program to reclaim our city from criminals. So today, last week Thursday, we started and we identified a lot of buildings that, one, do not comply with our building regulations. Secondly, that these are the buildings that are being misused. Where it's a business zone, is used as a residential. When it's a residential, it's used for business. Now, where we are, it's just a few steps from our headquarters in Tshwane House. This building is called Navy House. It belongs to a private property. The first two floors are used as hair salons, and then the condition of the building for the rest of the floors, which this building is supposed to be a residential area, zone for residential area. The first breach is the fact that there are two floors that are used as hair salons. Then the condition of the building itself. This is not a building that is fit for human settlements. That's number two. Number three, which is the issue that we have with private property owners in the city, that they've allowed our city to be hijacked by criminals. When we approach approach, then people start running. We're arresting illegal immigrants. Question is, this private property owner, when they were giving them leases, what were they based on if these people are illegal foreigners? So we're going to claim our city back, even from property owners, and we're going to find them and we're going to condemn these buildings, that they can't continue making profit while they've breathed.
When I started this channel, people were laughing. Even until today, people still laugh. They say you're going to run out of content. You can only trend if you talk about Nigeria. Not true. Not true. You see, the reality is foreigners are a problem in this country. And ever since we started speaking out and we being resilient and we are not stopping, our government have been doing things. It's just that we are so distracted in talking about Nigeria and all the nonsense they are doing that we forget that in the country and there are things happening. Let's check what happened to the miners that were underground. All that money that was spent to save them. You see, the problem is we give foreigners too much of a voice in this country to feel like they can speak freely. You know them clever blacks. Let's watch this.
Do you think ordinary South Africans have a heart to understand the tragedy that's unfolding there? Or
listen to the question. Do you think ordinary South Africans have a heart to understand the tragedy of what's happening there? Ordinary South Africans. Ordinary. Who are unordinary? Who are ordinary, who are unordinary? That's my question first. As good as the question is, but my question is who's ordinary? You see, this is where the problem becomes. When you start, you see, that's why this boy was able to make the joke he made, and people are able to say, no, it's not being classist, and you know, because you classify people as ordinary, unordinary, overordinary. What in law? Let's listen.
do you think ordinary South Africans have a heart to understand the...
And please, guys, don't come and explain to me what he means by the question. I understand what he means. I totally understand what he means. But I still think it's wrong to refer to people in their own country as some are ordinary, some are unordinary, average, some are average, middle. That is different. Middle class, poor South Africans. Say it, because he's trying to say that the poor South African, the uneducated South African, say it. We want to hear it so that we know that you are aware that there's an issue in the education system. Let's listen.
Tragedy that's unfolding there? Or are people so set on their framing of this situation that these are criminals, they should not have been helped in the first place because they got there illegally?
You never know how many people that are speaking in the social media and what sentiment they represent of society. But if you follow me and my postings, you will be shocked. Even today, I posted just after watching your program that there are 78 people today, up to date, that have been found. The response is, let them die. They deserve to die. They are criminals. They are foreigners. And we should have long put a concrete slab on top of the mine for them for us to forget about them. Crime doesn't pay, so say some of them. It's shocking. It's shocking because the people have been framed into believing that all of these people are Mozambicans. All of them volunteered to come to the mines and that they were not tricked by entrepreneurs, that is jobs somewhere in South Africa when they were recruited from Lesotho, Mozambique and Malawi. All of them are disturbingly criminal, to quote the president when he was referring to the Marikana massacre victims. And none of them are South Africans. So we should have no feelings for these animals. After all, they deserve to die. What were they doing in our country? Stealing our gold. Whose gold is that, by the way, that is being stolen there? It's incredible, the level of naivety and coldness. You know what I said during the day is that...
So he calls South African naive because they are hurtful. and they are tired of nonsense. You see, people like this are the ones that annoy me. You call South Africans naive when they're even willing to allow the South Africans that are in those mines to be punished the same way as those illegal foreigners. That's how much South Africa is tired of nonsense in their country. That even if their own is part of the nonsense, they must suffer the same fate. Now let's look at the numbers that is claiming that South Africans, Mozambique, let's look at the numbers of foreigners to South African ratio. Because when even Nigerians they talk about the crime in South Africa, the HIV state, they forget that South Africa caters for a lot of foreigners.
997 are Mozambicans, Zimbabweans 400.
997. Did I hear that correct?
997 are Mozambicans,
997 are Mozambican.
Zimbabweans 427, South African
427 Zimbabweans.
118, and then Basotho 120, no, South African 21, and then Basotho 120.
She corrected herself. 21 South Africans.
Congolese 1, Malawian 1. So you can see those people are
1 Congolese and 1 Malawian. Malawians are usually quite lazy. So they might have taken a chance. That Congolese guy, he must have been on his last hope. He had no more hope and he was like, yes guys, I speak Lingala from Congo. Those that know my story know that Lingala is spoken a lot in Angola too. But I'll tell you, wow. You see what I'm trying to say, guys? You crucify South Africa when even 21 of their own is part of this nonsense, and they're like, no, let them all suffer. Because in the end of the, and this guy had the audacity to ask, whose gold is it anyways? Whose land is it for you to ask whose gold it is? And this is what I'm talking about. South Africa is reclaiming its country by force, by fire. Unlike people who are happy because a word has been added in the dictionary while their country is falling apart and they are jabbering all over the world to the extent that that word had to be added so that the Muzungus and everyone else are fully aware of what's happening so they don't just like, hey, what's going on? Oh, they are jabbering, oh, they are like jabbering. Now they had to actually make it the actual word because it's a problem and they need people to identify with the problem. They don't name things just for the sake of naming things. But anyways, guys, what do you think? Are we really reclaiming the country? Is it moving too slow? Are the borders still not that secure? Because clearly not, because people are still walking in. If there's over 400 Zimbabweans and Mozambicans in those mines, I mean, with what's happening in Mozambique right now, how many more of them are coming in here doing illegal jobs in order for them to survive? Because Mozambique is no longer a country. Let me know your thoughts in the... Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm your boy, Uncle P, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.